The first test screening for the Flash movie took place last night, and we got some feedback, including that Ben Affleck's Batman does not die and that there's hope for the SnyderVerse yet. Let's break it all down. What's going on, DC fans? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, the Viking. Make sure you give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for a brand new video every single day. Being a DC fan can be exciting, it can be tiring, but you're never bored. And it's worthwhile when you get some good news. And today we have some very interesting news. Some people might like it, some people might not, but that's just the way movies are. I actually think this is actually brilliant. But the Flash movie had its first test screening last night. And that's unfortunate because the movie's not coming out until June 2023. But some interesting feedback. Now, I've talked to some people in DMs who have heard about the screening and stuff like that, which I won't talk about here because I don't think it's mine to share. But there is some public information that we can talk about, which I think is pretty exciting, especially if you're a SnyderVerse fan. And with Zack Snyder's Justice League being acknowledged at the Oscars, which is a pretty big win, in hope that Discovery coming in to take over Warner Brothers will restore the SnyderVerse. But the Flash movie and its test screening shared some very interesting information. Grace Randolph is a very controversial YouTuber. Some people like her, some people hate her. Okay, she gets some things right, she gets some things wrong. But a few weeks ago, she posted a tweet out about the SnyderVerse. And actually, a few weeks before that, she said to the SnyderVerse fans, move on. But her tune changed very, very quickly. She posted this: "You crazy SnyderVerse fans, how you managed to stay alive is incredible. I now hear Batfleck does not die in The Flash after all. At least not the most recent cut. June 2023 and a Discovery merger is a long, long path indeed. We'll see what happens." And many people just lost their shit at Grace Randolph because she said to fans to move on. Now she's saying that there's hope. But things in Hollywood change, guys. It always changes. A movie's a hit, they make another one. A movie's a flop, they don't. Things always change. There's intentions. Batfleck says he's done, but he came back several times. So things are always changing in Hollywood, especially with new executives coming in, especially after the Snyder Cut was acknowledged at the Oscars. These are wins, and things can change. But then today, she posted this. "Not a bunch of dude bros, scoopers, acting like I didn't break this story weeks ago." Because some scoopers came out last night and said, oh my god, the Flash screening was on last night, and guess what? Ben Affleck's Batman doesn't die. So then Grace was like, well, I told all of you this weeks ago. And she also tweeted this out. "Batfleck merely makes it out of the Flash. Alive, kind of. You'll see. Other scoopers are now simply confirming the news I broke first. There was a screening of The Flash again last night. But let's not get ahead of ourselves with crazy conspiracy theories." Now, Ben Affleck has said that he's done as Batman after the Flash movie. He hopes that they maintain the integrity of what they shot, which to me is a dig at Warner Brothers, basically saying, yeah, we did something amazing, but I don't trust Warner Brothers to keep it in the movie because that's what they do. They cut and they chop the movies in this franchise. The Ayer cut, the Snyder cut, even Ben Affleck's Live by Night movie that he made in between of Batman v Superman and then he was going to make the Batman movie, that was cut up too. So you have Batman v Superman, that was chopped up, it got a poor critical response. He was in the Suicide Squad, that was chopped up, that got a poor critical response. He was in Justice League, that got chopped up. And I got a poor critical response. There was a trend that Warner Brothers were sabotaging their own movies. And Ben Affleck was like, you know what? I don't need this. I've got personal shit going on. I am getting out of here. Because he signed on for Zack Snyder's vision. And next minute, Joss Whedon is creating this toxic environment. And it just broke him down. And he said no. And he came back, of course, for the Snyder Cut for Zack. He came back for the Flash movie as a send-off, we thought. That's what he told us. But if this scene that's being described from the Flash movie is true, then Ben Affleck is leaving the door open to return for more projects. Not just SnyderVerse projects, but actual DC projects. Because if he died in the Flash movie, honestly, it doesn't matter towards the SnyderVerse, because Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 can still happen, different timeline, multiverse, and Ben Affleck can return for that, even if he died in the Flash movie. I'm not getting bogged down by the different timelines and what's canon and stuff like that. It's a movie. They can make movies about any character. It doesn't really matter. Look at the X-Men franchise, for God's sake. But the scene that is being described from the Flash movie is a post-credit scene. And it features Ben Affleck and it features Ezra Miller. And Ben Affleck's Batman has left a message, transmission, something like this, for the Flash to find. And Batfleck basically says, Barry, come find us. Something like that. So, we don't know where this message is being sent from. Is it from a multiverse, different timeline that Batfleck is trapped in? Or, here comes the theories, is it from Zack Snyder's Nightmare timeline, which is the story for Zack Snyder's Justice League 2. I don't know about you guys, but my favourite part about Zack Snyder's DC world is the Nightmare timeline. I was in awe of it in Batman v Superman. I was in awe of it in Zack Snyder's Justice League. And I want to see an entire comic book movie set in that dystopian nightmare world. It looks badass and Batman looks badass in it. So, if that's the case, they're embracing the SnyderVerse. They really are. But again, guys, that's just theories. We don't know where this transmission was sent from. And even if it's not from the Nightmare timeline, it still doesn't really matter to Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, because that can still happen anytime on HBO Max. It doesn't have to relate to any of the DCU movies. It can pick and choose what's canon, certain characters, scenarios, suits, stuff like that. It doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. It doesn't. But it would be cool, it would be awesome, and it would show that Warner Brothers are open to Zack Snyder returning and his world returning if that message is actually being sent from the Nightmare timeline. That would be insane, it would be exciting, and yeah, it would leave the door open massively. And if Ben Affleck, who remember took the Flash script, rewrote some scenes that his character was in and said, there you go, I'll be in it now, has left the door open for himself to return, not just for the SnyderVerse, but the main DCEU continuity right now, which I find very, very interesting. Doesn't mean he will return, but he's leaving that door open. Then Grace Randolph had this to say. Basically, the Flash movie will put the SnyderVerse off to the side for Warner Brothers to access it, should they so choose sometime in the future. The SnyderVerse is still largely removed from the DCU, with the changes I told you regarding Keaton's Batman, Supergirl, etc. And I've been saying, guys, if you follow this channel, I have been saying this for ages right now. The main DCU may have Michael Keaton. It may be different. The tone may be shifting here and there. But honestly, what happens in this new continuity, it doesn't affect Zack Snyder's world whatsoever, because all Warner Brothers have to do is say, Zack, will you make your movie in your vision? And he'll say, of course, yep, I will do it. He doesn't have to use Shazam or Black Adam. He can if he wants. I presume he could if he wanted to. But he doesn't have to. So those universes can live on together with the same actors, the same characters, some similar canon storylines, suits and stuff like that, but it doesn't really have to affect each other. I think we think about this stuff way too much. And a lot of the anxiety with the Flash movie was from scoopers and bloggers saying that it would erase the SnyderVerse, kill off Batfleck, erase Henry Cavill, and we were all very angry, rightfully so. But it looks like that's not the case whatsoever. So to me, This is great news, and I still stand by what I've been saying in numerous videos. The new Justice League for the DCEU continuity will be Michael Keaton's Batman as a mentor, probably Wonder Woman, Gal Gadot as the leader. You will have Aquaman, Flash, you will have Batgirl, Supergirl will come in as the new Superman. Hopefully Henry Cavill can sort out negotiations there. Maybe Ray Fisher can come back. Eventually, hopefully stuff like that. But you will have characters like Black Canary coming in and out of the Justice League. Static Shock. Shazam will be a big character in that new Justice League as well. So that's the new Justice League. Not perfect. Actually, it's a pretty cool team if Batfleck and Henry Cavill was included as well, and Ray Fisher as Cyborg. But you can have that Justice League team there, this new continuity, this new timeline. But you can also have Zack Snyder's Justice League team with Adam, with Martian Manhunter. It's still pretty cool. It really, really is. So I have got no problem with this whatsoever. I have a preference, of course. It's the SnyderVerse. I wish that was canon in theaters, but it's not. So look, this is what's happening right now, and either you can push against it or you can embrace it. I am not like 100% okay with all of this. I'm not, but I'm embracing it as much as I can. I like the Batman movie. I'll watch Black Adam. If I don't like it, I don't like it, and we'll on to the next one. That's just the way I am with DC at the moment, and I hope that someday Zack Snyder Justice League will happen. The sequel, I hope it will happen. I do, and I have faith. I have faith, Alfred, faith. One of the greatest comic book movie lines of all time, in my opinion. But Ben Affleck has left the door open, which is pretty interesting. If he didn't want to come back ever, he would just say, kill me off. But he didn't, which was very, very interesting. And these test screens, of course, you could say that it's paid for by Warner Brothers and it's all just marketing. Say that the Flash movie is fantastic, it's great, it's the greatest thing of all time, don't worry about it. Of course, the movie could still be shit. But these things that I'm hearing are pretty interesting and have me a little bit more excited for the actual movie. I'm very intrigued to see how this goes, because if they are going to the history of Batman v Superman, Man of Steel, the Snyder Cut, whatever else from Zack Snyder's era of DC, it's going to be very hard to match that aesthetic that Zack Snyder has. Andy Muschietti is a very good director, but I don't know if he is a Zack Snyder director. But he does have Zack Snyder's VFX team, which will be very, very helpful. So it's very ballsy for this movie to tackle anything Snyder related, his world, his stories, his characters that he brought to us first, because it will be compared big time. So can Andy Muschietti nail it? Ezra Miller, yeah, there's a lot of bad news out there right now with him getting arrested, assault, threatening people, stuff like that. I don't really report about that stuff, but it could end up affecting the movies going forward. I wouldn't be surprised. The movie could get delayed again, because if he is in court for whatever he did or whatever he's being alleged to do, there's no way this movie comes out when he is in the process of a hearing, because it's not good for the PR. Because how can you do a big marketing campaign for the Flash movie when the Flash is in jail or he's in court? So that's going to be very interesting. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that development, because yeah, it will affect the movie in some way, because Fantastic Beasts 3 is out right now and Ezra Miller is not even doing press tour for that movie. And I've heard some things as well, I think you've seen online from other kind of scoopers or hinting at stuff, that not everything is okay in Ezra Miller's personal life, which is a shame. I hope he finds some solitude. I hope he gets some peace soon, because yeah, he's going through a very difficult situation. It looks like there's a lot of outbursts happening there too. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But guys, what's your thoughts on today's reports? The Flash movie had its first screening. Positive word of mouth so far, but it's very, very early. Ben Affleck's Batman does not die. The SnyderVerse is not erased. The end credits scene for the Flash movie right now is Ben Affleck's Batman sending a transmission or a message to the Flash saying, come find us. But where is he saying it from? Is he trapped in the multiverse? Is he in a different timeline where, I don't know, Darkseid is, or some other big baddie is there and he needs Flash's help? Or is he in the nightmare timeline that we get to see in Batman v Superman and Zack Snyder's Justice League? And also, the Nightmare timeline isn't one continuity. We have seen different versions of that nightmare world. Batman v Superman was different from Zack Snyder's Justice League. Cyborg got a vision of it as well. They're all different because it's different timelines. And in every single timeline, Batman dies, probably killed by Superman. But there is a timeline that he does have to die. In every single one, he has to die. But there's a way he has to die. And that is by sacrificing himself to save Lois Lane and Clark's baby. And Lois Lane herself, of course, because she's pregnant. But that's how he wins. That's how they beat Darkseid. Batman has to die. He needs to die, but he needs to die a certain way. Guys, that's my thoughts. Thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, come follow me on all the social media, get to the comment section. Appreciate it, guys. See you in the next video.